Alright, homies. Alright, everyone. We are back with another tokusatsu review, and we are going to be doing a Kamen Rider Zeztz first episode review. Right? We're going to be reviewing Kamen Rider Zeztz. Right? This show came out internationally, right? Much to like the surprise and the wow and the astonishment of a lot of us like toku heads, right? That, you know, are usually used to like, you know, third-party websites. I'm not gonna say, you know, what they are, right? Or, you know, safety reasons. But this new Kamen Rider has been making and will be making a lot of like pushes for international appeal. So they've been trying to make a lot of like Kamen Rider like appear via like other companies like Tokusatsu, the streaming service, the streaming channel service that does 24/7 Kamen Rider Toku content, and they show lots of like different stuff like what was it? Ultraman, kaiju films like Godzilla, right? Because it's tokusatsu, right? There's Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, you know, things like that. So they want to like go ham on the international appeal of tokusatsu, and they went with the newest rider, Kamen Rider Zeztz, and it was gonna have a major push with tokusatsu, and it was going to be live streamed, right, on Twitch and YouTube, right? So they are making big waves, big pushes, big strides to make this new Kamen Rider as globally commercial and accessible as they possibly can. Sorry. Much to the chagrin of some fans that, you know, right, do not like this like international or streaming deal that Kamen Rider Zeztz has been doing. All the different like fan subbers will essentially like put their jobs like at risk or things like that, you know. As much as, you know, I do feel empathetic for, you know, those, but I think it's like the fact that we as fans, right, who are not like subbers, who just casually like want to like watch Kamen Rider, we have to go through like hurdles of third-party sites that are filled with like malware like ads. And if you don't want to do that, torrenting. Like, you gotta like know how to do like torrents like on your computer. But the way I look at it, it's like, it's kind of like, you know, fighting games and Fightcade. Fightcade is like the online fighting game catalog for old school games outside of, you know, HD collection repackages, like for example Capcom Fighting Collections 1 and 2 and Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, where you can play old games with more accessibility than, let's say, you're a technologically savvy like PC owner. How do I boot up ROMs? How do I install ROMs? How do I get BIOSes and stuff like that? It becomes so challenging just to like, you know, okay, yeah, torrent is a little bit easier. Like, motherfucker, you are not considerate for other people that are not technologically savvy. I don't even know what like torrent does, right? I just go for like third-party sites because it's easier for me that way. Adds to hell, but like, dude, you are not sympathetic, right? So a lot of Kamen Rider has been making this push for like Twitch and YouTube, and I think that's like a great thing to push and broaden the appeal of Kamen Rider to the West than it already like has. And as we've been seeing over the past few years with recent Ultra, recent Kamen Rider, recent Sentai. So this is like the first like big impact of, no pun intended, of making like a toku show, a brand new toku show appearing in international waters, right? So I was all like down for it. I got the chance to watch it with my boy James Saturday, right? As we were watching like some other movies, like we were watching some random movies, just like chilling and watching things like that. As soon as we got done with the movie, I just like we bolted our asses over to the Kamen Rider Zeztz premiere. Honestly, gotta say, I really like enjoyed it. You know, I definitely like enjoyed like the fight scenes, and I definitely love like the intrigue and the premises that they're like trying to set up over here, right? This is like brand new, so obviously like the usage of the word or the term review is gonna like, you know, have some mixed messaging, because it's like, okay, how are you like reviewing this, Farhan? Because this is like first review. I don't do like first reviews of I don't judge like a Kamen Rider based on like the first review, right? Rather, it's more like, you know, I judge it, well, not judge it, but I rather like, you know, see what the intrigue is, how explosive the start is for a Kamen Rider show. Does it set off really cool? Does it set off really nice? Like, for example, like Gav was really cool because it sets up a lot of like, you know, how Shoma is, right? How his character is, how he discovers his new powers, and how just like the premiere fights are, right? And Gav, of course, right? No disrespect to my boy Zeztz, but it feels like you ain't gonna top like Gav like fight scenes, you know, right? Because they were just so fucking cool. They were so creative. It felt like very like organic and really in tune to the character's fighting style. You ain't ever seen like a Kamen Rider fight scene as how those three were doing it, you know? Even like, you know, the villains too, right? The villains were also like, had some really cool fight scenes. With Zeztz though, I liked it, right? I like this episode had like two fight scenes, like the opening and the ending fight, of course. The opening fight was just like, you know, setting up, right, this we'll get into like now spoiler territory for Kamen Rider Zeztz. So we pretty much know like the characters for Zeztz, right? Baku Yorozu, Nemu, Baku's like younger sister, the two paranormal investigation cops, one of them the older guy, one of them the recruit, and then the villain. We know this from like the casting stuff, right? So we don't have to worry about like the preface and stuff. So episode opens up with a dream, of course, right? But the dream was super like awesome. It sets up like the character, it sets up how badass he is, but also, you know, it is a dream. Baku Yorozu is a big like 007 nut, right? Like he just does all this like swaggy stuff in his dream. Like he feels like, you know, the invincible agent, as he's like dubbed, right? He is the invincible agent that, you know, does all these like cool, like you see him like in a fight scene against like, you know, a couple of like, you know, kidnappers, all these like different like gun kata shit, right? He's like just super badass, super dope, right? But then he wakes up into the world of reality by his sister, and bro, this bitch is the most unluckiest SOB like there is, man. Like equally as so or more so as Deno's Ryotaro Nogami, right? Remember that boy? Remember our favorite like little boy that gets possessed by like imaginings? Yeah, he just has like the most rotten luck there is, right? He's like a walking case of unfortunate circumstances. And Baku Yorozu is no exception to that. Like, they're both on par. Like, if there was like a contest between who's the most unluckiest of them all, Baku Yorozu is like equally as so as like Ryotaro. Even more so. Bitch got zapped by lightning by a UFO from the Gav like ending finale. Bitch gets run over by a car, you know? Right? So Baku Yorozu is like, he's like just overall nice guy, like very back to form, Kamen Rider shonen protagonist, not shonen, but like just shonen mentality. I wanna save people, right? I'm like a good guy for like all, right? But then, as he's like applying for a job, some like random dude kidnaps like a little girl, like just like fucking in broad fucking daylight. Yorozu like chases after him, but then gets like run over by the car, and nobody was like in the car. His sister like rushes over to his side after news of Baku being like injured, and like there's like sort of like some sibling tension about like how Baku and Minami get on each other's like nerves or side. Like it's like something must have happened between them, or something must have happened to like, you know, their family to create this like, not really like a rift, but like this anxiety, uneasiness between them. They still like love each other, right? Obviously. Giving me like that Keiwa and Sakura from Kamen Rider Zeztz, right? So they definitely got that going on. But there's definitely some stuff that they're like alluding to about like their past that they're not really like saying, of course, obviously, because it's the first fucking episode, right? So Baku stays at the hospital where he like recuperates, but suddenly a monster chases after him. It is a nightmare, right? A nightmare chases after him, and once Baku realizes that it was a dream, he acts like, "Oh, I'm tough. Bet, let's go, bro." Monster proceeds to beat the shit out of him. Even more so, he starts getting into his mind, gaslights him, right? Saying like, you know, he's not worth the damn. He's not a brave bitch. He's like a spineless bitch. Until he gets dragged away by like, you know, a holy light, and then gets brought to what was it? The Zeztz like headquarters, which they say like his subconscious, but there is like his boss, his commanding officer, his CO, Commander Zero, right? And I can see that's why like they've been pushing for international appeal. This bitch talks in full English, and Baku just like understands him. Like, what the fuck? I see, comical. I like it. He sounds super cool. He is the big boss of Kamen Rider Zeztz. Gives Baku the Zeztz driver and the capsules, or like his transformation trinkets, and he henshins. Impact. Let's middle. It's the middle. I'm on it. Different like subs. Excuse like the subs. But we all know it's Henshin. Rider! Zeztz! Impact! Super fucking sick, super cool, right? Super sick, like, just, right? So, yeah, Kamen Rider Zeztz Henshin for the first time. It's super sick, it's dope. He's got this, like, badass strut. And the fight scene between him and the Nightmare, yeah, definitely on, like, some initial levels of, like, creativity, right? Where, like, this bitch, like, literally warps the ground, like, beneath him to whoop the Nightmare's ass. This bitch, like, does, like, a fucking, like, an Injustice 2 super, like, he's playing, like, the Flash, where he does, like, the super, takes his ass to, like, different, like, parts of, like, the world. Yo, your ass is going to the Sphinx. Your ass is going to the dinosaurs. And then Zeztz proceeds to Henshin finishes him, right? Beats on his ass, and that's how the detective video that's belonging to someone else you're streaming belong to fucking YouTube. Fucking YouTube. Of course. Of course, YouTube. Right? So the episode ends, right? So the episode ends, and yup, it was really sick. It was really cool. Reality is gone back to normal. Zeztz is still in the hospital bed, alive, realizing it was all a dream. Sister checks up on him. He's okay. The paranormal investigators try to ask him, like, you know, what's up. The paranormal investigators try to ask him, like, what's up, but they don't want to go in with, like, another witness, but, like, the old dude, right, the head guy, the one with, like, the trench coat, like, checks out what Baku's have, like, on his chest, and it's the Zeztz driver. Apparently, like, it's stuck with him, right, or some shit. Makes a big ass, like, squeal. Woo! Right, so, and then finally, the episode ends. Your next mission. So, definitely, like, so definitely very interesting, right? Like, in terms of episode premieres, right? Like, what would be, like, a good premiere in terms of, like, the Reiwa era, right? So I think at the top for me, personally, would be Geets. Second would be, like, Gav, right? Revice, maybe, on, like, third. Zeztz would fall somewhere between, like, between Gav and, Revice. As much as I liked Zetz's, like, opening scene and, like, the night accoutrements and, like, you know, the reality bending of the dream elements of Zeztz, all that shit, right? I think it came down to, like, personally, like, just, like, how badass, how much of an impression you guys made with, like, said Kamen Rider. And Kamen Rider Zeztz is cool, but it didn't blow up like Geets, where Geets was just, like, the mysterious figure, the mysterious protagonist we knew from like the casting, but like he wasn't shown at all about his origins or things like that. Teases here and there, like who's this kooky like bastard? All we know of from the first episode of Zeztz was like Keiwa and how everything is like so shitty that this like happened, and why is everything treated like a game? So that's why it's so great, because like it was a big like, you know, throw off to the actual superstar, the star of the stars of the stars, was Ace in his transformation into Zeztz. So it was really cool to see that like direction for Kamen Rider, just to like throw us off our game. Gav was cool too, because you see this guy, you see this little boy running away from, you know, evil kidnappers, and then you have like all this like dark plot stuff, and you see his struggle of trying to be strong so that he could protect people of those that he loved. And when he does henshin, it becomes the most crazy fucking fight there is because of the action director and how he like battles the Granules. Like, oh my god, why are they fighting like this? It's awesome though. You know? So I give Gav and Zeztz like, you know, credit, and of course I give Zeztz where credit is due, but and the action scenes were cool, but they weren't as strong of an impact as did with like Gav and Zeztz, because, you know, of course, not gonna say like, you know, the first episode excuse, but like even first episode, you can make definitely like a bang with your first episode, as long as it's, you know, done like have the perfect like what was it, formula. Zeztz so far doesn't have that perfect formula. It will feel like a season that things will be more explained. Things will be more explained as the episodes like go by. Right? It will be more explained as the episodes go by, and that's what I feel like for the episode of Kamen Rider Zeztz. It's like there will be more to come. Right? Sort of thing. But overall, I give it like, you know, there you go. Overall, I give it like a 7. I dig it. I love that it's like, it's really cool. I just wish that it had like more stuff to work on, or like, you know, to introduce. Of course, you can't throw everything in like in an introduction episode, but I wish there was like, you know, more maybe, right? Probably being like, you know, too picky. Maybe a little bit more like fight scenes, like the fight scene with like the dream fight and like his like gun kata shit was cool, but then it was like, it's a dream because we gotta get back into reality. I'm a cool 007 agent at night in my dreams, but when I wake up in the morning, I'm a goofy fuck. I'm a goofy fuck, you know? And then proceeds to like lock in when he transforms again, right? So it's cool, but I don't know. I give it, well, maybe I'll bump it like to like, no, I'll keep it like a 7. I'll keep it like a 7 out of 10 for this Kamen Rider Zeztz episode like impression, right? I dig it, you know? It's cool. It's nice. It's flashy, right? Definitely got like a cool Zeztz like finisher, where if he like kicks you 3 times, it's like he's playing the lottery. Let's go gambling. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for Kamen Rider Zeztz. Really sick. I like it.